How much can we make in 1 week farming with $1,000? Today, that's what we're going to find out. Let's get straight to it. Welcome back to another video. Today we're doing a challenge. It's a little bit different. We haven't really done videos like this on the channel before, but today what I'm going to do is I'm going to take $1,000 and we're going to farm with Rtokens from Reserve Protocol for 1 week and see basically how much we can make. So yeah, this video is in collaboration with them. Thanks, to them for sponsoring it. Of course, nothing in this video is financial advice. Please, this is just my own personal experience. Everyone's financial experience is going to be different. And of course, there are many risks with farming as well, as we've talked about in the past. So what we're doing today is we're going to go to Reserve Protocol. And essentially, we're just going to go to various different apps, various different DeFi protocols, and essentially take these Rtokens that come from Reserve Protocol, farm with them, and let's just see how we get on over the course of the week. So we'll try a few different strategies and basically just see how we get on. So I've got a wallet here. I've funded it with 1,000 USDC and a bit of ETH for some gas. So yeah, let's see, how much of this 1,000 can we get at the end of the week. I hope that we can make maybe 2-3% in a week. That would be pretty cool, because if you annualize that, that is pretty massive. But we'll have to wait and see. Let's see kind of what our annual APY is. Anything above 10%, I'll take it, because nowadays US treasuries are paying around 5%. And of course, inflation is still fairly high, I'd say, especially for me in the UK. So yeah, I kind of just want to beat that. And so I think double-digit yields, if we can average that throughout the entire week, that is fantastic, and I think that is great. Shout out to Reserve for also giving me this shirt. I really like it anyway. I love the color theme that comes with the Reserve Protocol. If you want to learn more about Reserve and the Rtokens, I have actually done a deep dive, so go and watch that. I'll leave a link in the description below. I've also written quite a few threads on Twitter, so go and follow me there and go and read some of those if you're new to Reserve. Reserve is a really fascinating project, and the idea is, stable currency is a human right. So yeah, they've got a variety of these Rtokens. And yeah, so let's take a look at the Rtokens first. So let's go to the register app and yeah, let's see the dashboard. We've got a few different Rtokens. I think the main ones really are EUSD, this electronic US dollar, the high yield USD, which is essentially meant to be this high interest saving account kind of product. And then we've got ETH Plus as well. Now, there are some others as well, but I don't think we'll focus too much on them for now for this video. I'm sure in future there's going to be many Rtokens, and I think that's great for Reserve. Let's see kind of what some of these offer and where we can kind of earn yields on them. Now, most of these are obviously on ETH mainnet. However, what you may be able to see is that some of them are on Base. I've actually funded this on Base, and the whole idea is, look, you don't need lots of money to farm with. You can farm even with just a few $100s, and that's still enough to kind of beat inflation and kind of be some sort of saving account. Of course, with farming, there are obviously more risks than just putting your money in the bank, but that's why we're getting high yields, of course. So yeah, that's let's see what we can do. I think the first thing is to basically go to Curve, because Curve is basically the place to be for stablecoin liquidity. And straight away, like as soon as I went to on Curve on the base chain, I did see a variety of Rtoken pools. Specifically this one, this EUSD, CRV USD. I did notice there is a high yield USD, EUSD, but it's not actually paying any CRV rewards at the moment. However, this one is paying 18% at a base rate and up to 46% in CRV tokens. So that's pretty cool. And so I think this might be a good place for us to start. So what I need to do first is I've got USDC, so obviously I need to swap that out. So probably go to DeFi Llama and let's see if we can swap it out into something else, and we'll take it from there. Now, one thing that I did actually note was that actually what I can do is I can actually mint HYUSD, high yield USD, directly from the register app, and I get a fairly decent rate. Like I'm basically converting like $1,000 into like 999.46. So I'm going to do that. And the reason being is because I found that there is a little bit of an arb opportunity at the moment if I am to go on Curve and swap that back into USDC. And so I'm going to do that because that's going to give us, a little 0.1% boost to begin with. So let me go and mint it directly here. We will go back to Curve. We'll arb that rate that's going in my favor. And then we'll kind of take it from there. So let's do this right now. So yeah, now we've got 999 HYUSD, and if we swap this out, there you go, look, We made $1 just like that. So let's take advantage of this arb, and then I'll talk about what we're going to do next. Right, now I have been searching around looking at where the best opportunities for these R tokens are, and I've found that there are a few different places that you can go. Well, first of all, you can go to Curve, and on Curve there are a few pools, as we just talked about: EUSD, CRV, USD. This pool is a little bit imbalanced at the moment in favor of EUSD, so CRV USD is slightly off peg here. There is obviously this pool, but it's not incentivized at the moment. And then afterwards, I went to Aerodrome and I found that there were a couple of pools here, and these are pretty good yields. So we've got EUSD electronic US dollar and the USD base coin, 42%. But then we've got that same pool on Curve, high yield and electronic US dollar, 54%. So that is pretty good, and I'm pretty attracted to that. So that's what I think we're going to go for now. I mean, it seems like the best yield. But then I found that we could actually auto compound these rewards by going and doing it on Beefy, where you can earn 63%. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to basically take half of our high yield US dollar. We're going to convert that into electronic US dollars. So let's do that right now. EUSD. Let's convert 499 into EUSD. As you can see, EUSD is slightly higher in price. I'm guessing that's because it's not native to base just yet, but I'm sure that will change in future. So we're going to swap, and so we should have a 50-50 balance of both, approximately anyway. So let's do that right now. The great thing about base chain, the gas fees are so cheap. You know, you're paying 20 cents, 50 cents, even less than that sometimes for a transaction. So we're going to swap this, and then hopefully we should be able to go directly to Beefy and see what we could do. So I think what I need to do is, maybe I could have just deposited all of this in one go. Maybe I didn't even need to swap. But anyway, I think what I need to do is I need to get this liquidity token. So I'm going to go to Aerodrome. I'm going to go to this vault here. I'm going to click deposit. I'm going to deposit both of these tokens. I've only got 499 here, so 496, and we should get returned this VAMM basically token, which basically represents our position. So let's do that now. And then what we can do is, now that we've got this, we can stake our deposit here, or what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over here and look, as you can see, it's kind of got our balance now. So we're going to just deposit the maximum here, switch to base, deposit all, deposit confirmed. Our MU tokens are interest-bearing, tokenized proof of our deposit. So that's, I think, all we need to do. And now we can see that, you know, our deposit is here, $993 at the moment. So we've, that's because I've still got some in my wallet. I've still got, you know, some HYUSD, and part of it is slippage, of course, as well. We'll see how much our accrued value is. But at the moment, we're making over $1 a day with only $1,000, which is pretty cool. Let's see how this goes over the coming days. Hello everyone, it's actually been a couple of days now, so we're actually on day 3 of the challenge now. There hasn't been too much to update because the yields have been pretty stable, but I think we will talk about a few different strategies that you could do as an alternative. So I think let's first of all go to Curve and let's kind of have a look at how things are going there. So on Curve, EUSD, CRV, USD, we looked at this in the previous update before we actually deposited anything, and yields are looking pretty much the same, you know, 18 to 45% depending on if you've got that VE CRV boost. Decent-ish volume. I mean, it's the second largest, but it's still small, isn't it? Yeah, so that's pretty much the update there. On Beefy, this is where we've got our deposit. Remember that we didn't actually deposit the entire $1,000. I believe it was like $992 that we deposited. But we've actually made a bit of money. We've actually made around $3 so far, so not too bad. The yields have unfortunately come down a little bit, but it's still ridiculously high, in the high double digits for now. So we're still making almost $1 a day. These yields do fluctuate, of course. Part of it does depend on the price of the Aerodrome token reward, which is kind of what we're getting paid in at the moment. But I think otherwise, generally, things are going quite well here. This is my apologies. I think things are going generally quite well here. I think this is a genuine farm that you can kind of participate in. Is it sustainable? Probably not. And part of that is because of the Aerodrome token reward, which is generally just getting diluted. I say diluted, it's getting farmed and dumped essentially. But I mean, for the moment, this is a great place to, I guess, park your funds. For me personally, of course, there are still risks with it. I'm taking on smart contract risk, I'm taking on peg risk, and blockchain risk, of course. But yeah, I think so far this is pretty good, and so far we're earning some decent yield, which hopefully will add up to a decent-ish percentage at the end. Now, of course, with this $1,000, I'm not expecting to make, $100 or $200. We're not going to make 20% in a week, but I think if you could make 20, 30, 40% in a year, that is pretty good, especially if you're doing it on stables without that volatility risk. So I thought what I'll do is I'll just update you on a few other kind of methods that you could use with these RTokens. So first of all, you could go to Concentrator, which create these vaults that are built on top of Convex. And so this is on ETH mainnet. This is not on base chain. So, I would recommend to do this only if you had size. But you can see here, EUSD Frax Baseball, 18%. High yield USD and EUSD 27%. Very, very, very good yields here. And this has been the case for many months now. We can go to Yearn and we can see here that it's 34% for the high yield USD EUSD on Curve as well. That is incredible yield. And you can see there's $100,000 in deposits there as well, just on Yearn. And then also, if you kind of have a search, we can see that some of these other pools, like these ones on Aerodrome, are even higher than what I'm earning at the moment. This is the actual pool I'm in right now, and I think because of the farming rewards, the way that they're compounded anyway, 51%, incredible. Now, I'm personally not going to deposit in here just yet, and one of the reasons why is because Yearn have this method of kind of compounding at certain intervals. And it might be the case where we're at the end of these 7 days and our position hasn't compounded. So I think if you're doing it long term, why not, for sure. But I'm only farming in this for the short term, and so I like the idea of being on Beefy because I know that my position is being compounded quite regularly. Welcome back. By the time you're watching this, 7 days are up, and that means our 7-day challenge is officially over. So the question is, how much did we make in this 7-day period? Well, we actually made around $10.83 actually, our total P&L. Our yield was around $7. So basically we were making over $1 a day, which I think is fantastic when you're only just starting off with, $1,000. I think part of my strategy for farming is to just outcompete inflation and to basically have some ongoing exposure to, first of all, the dollar, because I live in the UK, so having exposure to the dollar is a good way for me to hedge. But also, the main thing is I just want to beat inflation and also retain some of that capital when it comes to deciding where I want to invest in future. And I think one of the great things with farming stable coins is that the yields can be very good, especially if you get into the right place at the right time. And because of Reserve's power, especially with the power that they have within the Curve ecosystem, they're able to really incentivize their RTokens to have some powerful, or I should say, very, very good yields. So you can see here on Beefy, the high yield USD versus EUSD LP is still like almost 40%. I mean, if we go to Yearn, we can still see like the high yield USD and EUSD is around 56%. So you could actually get better yields here, but this hasn't been harvested yet. And so therefore, I think that's literally the reason why I hadn't done this. But I think if you're there for the long term, then this might be a great thing for you. You can also just, have a look on Curve. So, I mean, let's go to Curve and have a look ourselves. We'll be able to see some of the yields on base as well here. So let's go there. Let's go to base. We should be able to see this pool. Look, 25% now. This has gone up a little bit, and you can boost that all the way up to 64%. I am expecting some yields to kind of flow here as well. So potentially this pool on Curve will be incentivized, and we should see some inflows there. But either way, The whole idea is, look, you can make passive income, well, I can anyway, by using some of these different protocols to farm with stablecoins. Reserve have built out some wonderful Rtokens that have a index basket and kind of have reduced their risk by being over collateralized as well. So all in all, we made around $7. I think this has shown that Rtokens are a great way to kind of make some income, especially if you know how to farm with them, like I've shown you in this video. Personally, I am going to use these strategies going forward. I think it's a great way to hedge yourself against inflation, especially for those living in less economically developed countries, or for those who don't have exposure to the dollar. I think it can be a great way for you to utilize some different strategies on chain. Being on base is also fantastic. There's very cheap gas fees, which also can make a big difference. So yeah, that's all I'm going to cover today. Smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. I will be writing up a little bit about kind of what I've been doing on Twitter, so go and follow me there. Go and subscribe to my newsletter, where I'll also write about this as well. Smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, and we'll be back with plenty more content in the near future.